Well, look what finally arrived. Hey everyone, I'm Sister Lily and welcome to my armory. So, as of now, I'm kind of starting a tradition on the channel with Warhammer 40k of each edition checking out the cheapest starter set. Well, I say right now, but technically I started it at the beginning of 8th edition by checking out First Strike. That could have been better. The sculpts of the models were nice, but they weren't legal units, so you literally needed to buy a second set of both models to be able to actually use them. So this is the first time I've unboxed it, hence why I had a little trouble there. Probably should have opened it at the top, shouldn't I? But, well, I like being slightly different. So we have the Collection Obasis. We have the two Primaris Lieutenants. Well, technically, we have the Space Marine Primaris Lieutenant. Looking damn awesome. This is how they should have been at Indomitus era. And then we have the Necron Lord with the double Gauss cannon thing. I don't know what that weapon's called. I'm not even going to pretend I do. We have some dice. We have some Assault Incestors, one of whom has the has a plasma pistol and who's lost an arm. I love that. Just that little bit of aesthetic is just cool. I might just come back a bit and focus again on it. Like, how cool is that shield? The scabbard's neat as well, and his Neo-Volkite, because what's better than a Volkite? A Neo-Volkite. Or making it Neo for some reason. Now, here's the faction that I don't know very much about. I know what I know about Necrons. I know from playing Dawn of War 1 and doing, I think, one playthrough as them, and bits and pieces of lore here and there. I know about the War in Heaven for the most part. Like, Necrons are such a bunch of badasses, they killed their gods. Like, thinking in sci-fi about the only other main group I can think of who did that were the Klingons. The Klingons got sick of their gods' bullshit, so they killed them. Like, that's impressive. Not quite sure how you kill a mythical concept, but okay then. But yeah, we've got Necron Warriors with some nice Gauss weapons on there. And my cat wants attention, so you might hear him whinging in the background. Yes. I am going to build these up off camera. Because I need to contact my friend who collects Necrons and see how she wants those. Because those Necrons are going to be going to a friend of mine. Who may one day appear on the channel. And I do say one day. So, I'm just pulling out the battle mat that comes in this. Just going to pull that aside. Now you might see the Aquila on the mat down on the table at the moment. The template you're seeing here is one I used for a, what was it? Sister of Silence banner that I made back in 2017, I think it was. So here we have, I'm just going to move the bits boxes out of the way. I'll bring them back in a moment. But yeah, here we have one side of the terrain, which is a rather neat print. It'll take a lot of work to make a physical print to physically make. Like we see the different start points, and I think this thing's intended to go on the box is intended to go on the to go around it. Now the other side doesn't have numbers on it, which is kind of neat. And like, I kind of like this. Like, this is kind of cool. It's got the base terrain and it's half covered in sand. Like, that's kind of cool. Well, I say no, it is technically sand and stuff. It's been blown in from a desert. The aesthetic of this is really cool. I would have liked it if it didn't have numbers, but on the other side. But well, the numbers and the letters are there to help people for different tutorial missions, which I might well do. Just for the fun of it, just have some kind of wargaming on the channel. Since it's going to be a long time till I get battle reports in no small part due to the fact of COVID. Maybe I should say Corvid, to avoid issues with YouTube's algorithms. I don't monetize my content, so that shouldn't be an issue. Now, pardon me while I just struggle to get this out of the bag. There we go. Let's just bring back the box, bring back the tubs, and you can watch me ripping the shrink wrap off, hey? Because I know a lot of people like watching these just to watch people actually rip the shrink wrap off things, so why not? So that's got the data sheets on the back for the models. We've got the recruit manual, which is still pretty hefty. Now, this is what adds half the weight of the box. And then we've got the 2 sets of data cards, 3 sets of data cards, sorry. One that shows the Necron side of things on there, and I'm trying to hide the data sheets because I know GW don't actually like the data sheets being published. I don't think they care about out of print stuff, but they do care about newer stuff. Like this will be kind of cool to play. Add a bit of terrain in and it will be even better. On the subject of terrain, so there's 2 range rulers and a mini transfer sheet, but on the subject of terrain, the box itself is the terrain. And it could be better. It's still kind of cool. It's cool that they figured out to do this last edition. You kind of end up with this big vault thing here. Like, they're calling this an Archeo vault, I think. And, like, if you actually properly sealed the box up with, if you properly reinforced the box on the inside, you could actually use it for terrain. So, let's take a quick look at the recruit manual. Recruit manual. Introduction. Contents. Introduction. The Warhammer 40k hobby. Well, 40,000. I can do epic voices. Collecting. Where's the instructions? That's what I care about. Forging Heroes. Love the Gilliman art. Yeah. Still haven't really shared my thought on Gilliman, but then, finally we get to the instructions. So yeah, I'm gonna build these up and I'll be back. So, and here we have the Necrons. Now, because they're going to be going to a friend of mine who collects Necrons, I've built them all up with the Reapers. With the Gauss Reapers, I think it's called. Because why not have shorter range, much higher rate of fire weapons? So yes, we also have the little Scarabs, which is actually a rather neat little thing. I've faced Necrons once on the tabletop, and it was a pretty close game, but I had some of my rules wrong, so I look forward to playing again. Yes, here's little Scarabs. Now, I'm aware you've probably already seen other people do reviews and so on, and I don't care, I'm doing it anyway, even if it does come out way late. Yes, here we have the Royal Warden. Now, this model was a bit interesting to try and put together. Some of the Necron warriors were a bit fiddly. There's one of them that I had to glue because things just didn't work properly. didn't want to cooperate, and some of the face I've had to glue on because the instructions or my reading of them was wrong. Like this guy's cool, just him with his big, what is that weapon? Relic Gauss Blaster. Okay then, because blurge, blurge. I can see these things spitting horrific death into the enemy, and also all Necrons have bayonets on their weapons. Good to see they know what a stabby. Good to see they understand the concept of stabby things on the end of shooty things. Anyway, yeah, I love his little capelet thing. Get the camera to focus properly. Yeah, he's also got the power cord going around to his Gauss blaster from his back spine. Now the spine was actually rather annoying to get in. I had a bit of trouble getting it to go in, but yeah, these things happen. Like sculpt-wise, the model's really nice. I just don't know enough about Necrons to talk too much about it. And I'll learn more about them as through a mixture of being in 40k hobby and watching videos, as well as playing against them. But yes, next we have the warriors built up in various poses. So this guy kind of advancing forward, not quite firing. Just like, I'm coming, stompy stomp. So I kind of went for a lot of the more damaged looking helmets, because they just look cooler. I like this guy's head. If we can actually get it on the camera. It's the one that's got the three wires coming out of it, and it looks really cool. But yeah, most of these do kind of stick together, but it also kind of does help to glue them, even though you don't have to. Like, I love the wires just coming out of the torso. These warriors are really cool. I love the prospect that the Necron warriors from this may well be the new Necron warriors set at some point in the near future. Let's grab him. Like, this one's cranium's half blasted open. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of pet fur that got on it, because I kind of had the box with all the Necrons in it sitting on my table, and the cats have frequented the space between recording sessions. And, like, these are really cool. I love the fact that Necrons are pretty much just here let's make sci-fi alien robots based off Terminator. And it just works. It just works. Unlike Skyrim. I mean, Bethesda's line of, it just works. Put enough mods in it and it doesn't. Some games, sometimes you need mods to even make it work. Yes. A little bit of rubble under his foot and some wires. Now, one thing worth mentioning is be careful when cutting these out, because they sometimes the legs will twist. Like, I used a knife to cut them out, which was probably not the best thing. And yeah, some of the legs twisted a bit. Just loving the head sculpts on these. Like, and there's a whole lot of extra bits, like, where's the other sprue? The marine sprue. If I can find it easily. Nope, can't easily find it. Oh well. No, that's the Zark. Oh well, figured I'd have a look to the side to see if it was where I thought it might be. Like, he looks like he's hunch walking, like, like, oi, what you say about me? Well, that's more of an orc thing. It's like, oi, hippity hoppity, get the heck off my property. Stomp, 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 stomp. Blah, blah. It's like, blur, my camera doesn't recognize the image. Like, he's looking cool. Like, I love on the cover of the book from this game, where it's just got the where it just looks like the let me grab the book. Like, the booklet looks like he's going, who would have thought? Going like, who would have thought I'd have died next to a space marine? Space marine, no. You know, it's like this. Space Marine's like, who would have thought I would have died next to a Necron? Necron. What about a friend? Space Marine. No. Necron. But yeah, and that's the Necron side of things. So a little bit of a comparison with what I can do. We have Sister of Battle Superior with Chainsword from the Retributor set. Just put them kind of at base level. It is much taller than her. Oops, nearly put it up on the shelf. We have it next to a Death Company Marine that's been converted into a Death Watch Marine. Because, ah, swing, dang, ah. Hey, get back here, model. We have it next to a Gravis Captain that I need to get some replacement parts for, because a few things are broken. Looking forward to when we finally get the Gravis Captain kit. And he's kind of about the same height because of the pose. Now I'll just show you the base. Take the coat off so it's more visible. That's kind of how I'm going to do the base for my Blood Ravens. That's how I do my Blood Raven bases, essentially. Although with the characters it tends to have more fire on them. And that's when I can be bothered. Like, the bases are a bit of work. Here's him with an Apothecary, because I went Gunslinger for the Apothecary. And I'll be back in a moment with the Space Marines. Okay then, so here are the Marines. Certainly it feels like there are less of them. And I kind of botched a couple of them's builds up a bit. Pardon the way the light's going right now. Recording this a bit later in the day, so sunlight's behaving funny thanks to a mirror. But yeah, I ended up getting these two look like they're in a conversation. It's like, so how many heretics and Xenos have you killed today? Just 1 or 2, just 30. You? I'm at 500. How? We're in the same squad. You're full of it. Anyway, so a few of these I've glued together, partly, which was probably a bit of a mistake. Like this one. Like, I kind of like the poses. The poses on these guys are very dynamic, but it's going to get old very fast when you have a lot of them. That being said, there are a few extra parts on the sprue as well, so if you end up getting multiples of this set to get multiples of the Marines, you at least have a few extra options. Not that there are many. That being said, reposing would be pretty straightforward. With the fact I'm planning on getting hold of the Command Edition of the set and maybe the Elite Edition. The Command Edition is just basically the Elite Edition but with terrain and a core rulebook. Yeah. Now, one issue I did have with the Lieutenant when I was assembling it is the glue I ended up gluing it, and it kind of didn't quite work well. I tried to get it as flush together as possible, but you can see the huge mould gap. I'm going to have to do a lot of green stuff work on that to get it to sit smooth now, and that might just be user error. It's entirely possible, but I mean, I've kept things loose so I can pull them off and repair them, but I figured I'd mention that. Make sure you fit things properly before you consider gluing it, which I mean, that is pretty basic advice that I failed at following. And like, if you want to, now one thing you could potentially do if you're planning on adding a few of these close combat incestors into your army, what you could actually do is get multiples of this set, and at the same time use some of the spare parts from building the incestors to vary the poses up on the Primaris Lieutenant and turn him into Blade Guard. And just turn parts of him into Blade Guard. Like, the one part that might be a bit different would be the robes, but that's easy enough to do. Like, they'd be very stoic, but like, if you swap things around a bit, it'd be pretty straightforward. I mean, the one thing you'd want to do would be source some power swords, but I mean, basically every upgrade kit these days has power swords. Now, a little error I made before was with the Necron Warriors talking about the Gauss Reapers. The Reapers aren't extra number of shots. They're higher strength, but at shorter range. That's an error I made. I'm not a Necron player. I've played against them sometimes, and I look forward to fighting them again, but yeah, I'm no Necron player, so you'll have to forgive the errors there. Basically, I just wanted to show these models before I painted them up. I'm not going to have them painted up in this video. I'll show my Blood Ravens army off at some point later in the future. On that subject, let's do some comparisons. We have an incest that I need to repaint. I need to reprime, because I just straight out painted the blue plastic, and yeah, that worked well, didn't it? Let me just swap him over so he's less brightly illuminated. So he's a bit taller due to being more dynamically posed. Let's grab the Blade Guard, let's grab the Lieutenant, and they're about the same size. Let's grab that one now. Where's Angelos? Let's grab Gabriel Stompulos. Best part of Dawn of War 3 was Angelos, really. Well, Angelos and the Orc. Dawn of War 3 as itself kind of sucked. It had such potential, but it failed dismally. And THQ aren't, well, and who are they? Sega aren't willing to really put in the effort to actually make it not suck. So here we have a Space Marine Terminator. Now, if memory serves, the body I used for this was one of the Black Reach ones, because you used to be able to get them really cheaply. Black Reach was a great set. We have Deathwatch Mini Marine. So, height-wise, he's much shorter. And yeah. Also have a Tech Marine that I kit bashed ages ago. I'm gonna need to probably get hold of a Tech Marine thinking about it. They're gonna be probably retconning them soon because they're bringing out the new Primaris ones. Where did I put that Blade Guard? Not Blade Guard, the close combat one. Oh well, I'll show you how to make Blade Guard. We don't have three of this. We have like three of this set because I mean, a friend of mine also. I need to pay for the Space Marine half of Indomitus when her partner gets it, when her partner in Australia gets it from her, and yes, I'll end up having a lieutenant from that, and I'll have probably one or two more lieutenants from this. I'll see about doing a easy to build conversion tutorial for making Blade Guard from for these guys, which will probably involve doing, which will probably either involve just using the base models, or to make it more interesting, maybe not even use them and just use some other stuff. Like there are some really cool Terminator storm shields out there, and really cool storm shields in general. Plus, I mean, bolt gun hand you could probably set up so as it's on the arm, and then just swap it over so that instead of the chainsaw on the crossguard, you've got a power sword blade. It'd be pretty easy to do. But yeah, anyway, so that's really the main contents review for this. I'm not going to put this back on the terrain because the terrain's kind of boring. I mean, the box is a box. It's not terribly interesting. The top surface is kind of cool. Oops. I've got models in it, so it's upside down. But, like, the model's cool as kind of a quick terrain thing that you chuck down on the board if you need it. Like, what I'm thinking of actually doing with the box is, I'm legitimately thinking I'm going to end up putting a few bits of XPE foam in the corners so as to square it up, and then use this and probably several others for storing more loose terrain pieces in. Need to probably find some bubble wrap to wrap the Necron stuff in for my friend, but that'll happen soon enough. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. For more Warhammer related stuff, feel free to subscribe. I've got a whole lot of terrain tutorials in the works at the moment, and I hope to share them with you guys soon. Anyway, thank you for watching.